Good morning, everyone. Friday, no, it's not Friday, I'm sorry. It feels like Friday. It's Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. And again, welcome to Mornings with the Manager. And it's a pleasure to talk to this morning to all of you and see how we are all doing. I have a few points prepared to speak about today, but of course, as always, feel free to send me a chat question or communicate afterwards with me as well by sending me an email or giving me a call. Today is a relatively big day for all of us because the state of California has lifted the mask wearing restrictions. Overall, in all of our city facilities, we have lifted the mask guidance or the mask requirements. There are two facilities where we still require wearing face masks. That is, these are two community centers, the Hilltop Park Center and the Elistero Center, just because we have preschool programs in there. And as you all know, the mask guidance is still in effect for educational facilities, and in this case, that applies to us as well. In the sports center, we are not requiring masks for vaccinated folks, just for the unvaccinated. That system is based on self-attestation. We all know the strength and the weaknesses of a system like that, but that is how we are starting right now to have folks who are not vaccinated volunteer, so to speak, to be in compliance and then wear the mask. The same applies to the library as well as, of course, to the conference center, where we also have now new rules for large-scale conferences. And as a matter of fact, this week, Thursday, tomorrow starting, we have a large-scale conference coming to us with about 1,000 attendees that will be in the downtown area. So that will start tomorrow as well. Overall, with respect to COVID-19, we are seeing clearly that the numbers are trending very strongly in the better direction. We see this within our own city family. We had about the same number of employees infected with the latest variation of the COVID-19 virus, the Omicron variant, as we had in the previous almost 20 months of this pandemic. So it was very, very infectious, and we had close to, I think, around 50 employees that at one time or another over the past 6 weeks or so had COVID-19 symptoms. The good news in all of that is that all those employees were vaccinated, and the effects were really, really mild as far as we can tell, and as far as the employees have shared this with us. So everything trends right now in the right direction. Here in the office, for the first time, we saw each other's faces almost entirely. Of course, now and then the mask was off when we were eating or something, but it's a good sight to see people, to see people's whole faces. What we try to remind everyone, our employees as well as everyone out there, be mindful, keep social distant. If you have symptoms, please stay home. Don't get to your place of work. And last but not least, if you feel uncomfortable, wear a mask. And I can foresee already for myself also a situation where I will just continue wearing my mask in order to protect myself and to protect my family. So again, the virus is in charge. The variants are in charge, and we have to see how everything develops over the next couple of weeks and months. But definitely, it feels like we have reached yet another turning point. Having said that, we have to remain vigilant and cautious. The next topic I wanted to briefly chat is last night, the council finished the districting work. We were put on notice sometime in September that we were asked to district the city, going basically from at-large election to district-based election. This is a very regulated process. It has to be started and completed within 90 days. And last night, the council approved as a second reading a final map as well as the order of elections that will come to us. At this, that was on day 91. So we completed that. Keep in mind that was quite a lift with respect to the workload, but even more importantly, it happened also during the holiday season, and we literally got the first draft maps sometimes after December 25th or 26th. This was when the first draft maps were published by us on the website. So we got this all accomplished despite a very most intense holiday season with Thanksgiving and the holidays in December and New Year. And it is a testament to the council as well as to the public that we got this all jointly accomplished. So thank you for that. Now this ordinance, second reading, will become effective in 30 days. And that is really what always happens with city ordinances. After the second reading, you wait another 30 days before it becomes effective. Having said all that, it has no really meaning in this case because the next election where those districting rules will apply will start in November. So if you stay tuned to council meetings and all that, you can already feel that some sort of campaigning might have started already, and we'll probably continue to see that culminating then with the election in November 2022. There will be two districts up for election in November 22. That's the District 1 and 2. And then in November 24, you have District 3 and 4 being up for elections. And if you take a look at the website that we have created for that, for districting, it's on the website Have Your Say Monterey. You can find out in what districts you are living. In general terms, District 1 is basically New Monterey and Old Town. District 2 is the Old Town, parts of Old Town as well, downtown, as well as a little bit of Monte Vista, and then it goes from Monte Vista eastwards on the southern portion of the city all the way to Deer Flats, Alta Mesa, Deer Flats, Fisherman's Flats, etc. So that's District 2. Those two will be up for election in November 2022, and then District 3 is Monte Vista and Skyline, and District 4 is basically Casanova, Oak Knoll, Laguna Grande, Villa del Monte. That those neighborhoods, they will be then up in November 2024. So lastly, the mayor remains an at-large mayor, so the mayor will be voted into office every 2 years. So again, the mayor's office remains at large and will be up for election every 2 years. So charter, our city charter regulates that as well. We have basically achieved a solution that is in compliance with the California Voting Rights Act, but also mirrors what we have in our charter with 2 council members and the mayor elected every 2 years. Stay tuned because I'm pretty sure sooner or later folks will announce what they want to do in the upcoming elections, and we, of course, as city staff, will do our best to make sure that all the candidates that are running will receive sufficient information from staff. We always reach out to the candidates and have a candidate meeting where we brief them all. But also, if they have questions, we will make sure that they talk to the right folks here at City Hall to become educated about city issues and also become good city candidates for the city council, because that's a big job that our council members are doing. we are working very hard on presenting to you, the city, as well as the city council, our mid-year budget. This will happen at the beginning of March. This is a big report that we are preparing for quite some time now. It contains a lot of data points. It also contains some suggestions to the council to refill our fund for economic uncertainty. We used quite a bit of those millions of dollars to get by during the COVID crisis. We also propose to create some extra reserves that will help the city definitely in the long term. So I would just I just share with you, stand by and look for the March 1st agenda report. We are still shaking the numbers together, but overall I can share with you that the economic recovery of the local economy, particularly the hospitality industry, has been tremendously beneficial for the city revenues. We have really seen strong returns of tourists, and we can see that the hotel tax is higher than we projected it, and we projected already a pretty good number. And we can also see that accompanying with the hotel tax, our sales tax, driven by the tourist, of course, has returned to a very healthy number. Last but not least, with the help of you, you approved tax measures. One was to raise the TOT by 2% from 10 to 12. That shows a tremendous impact. And we also had a sales tax measure, which was a 0.5% sales tax for, I believe, 9 years. And also those additional 0.5% are really helping us tremendously right now. They will not offset our losses of $32 million. That will take still a while. But on the other side is also that some of the services that we are offering have not been used by residents in those numbers which require us to bring back employees. So what you see, for instance, in the sports center is that we are still around 40% to 50% of users in the sports center. And respectively with that, of course, our staffing levels, which we adjusted during the pandemic when we had to shut down the sports center for 9 months at least, we have not brought back everything. Yes, I'll talk about this, Laura. We have not brought back all the corresponding employees. So that is right now in a big picture. We have great revenues, but some of the service levels have not returned. Similarly, as I stated for the sports center, the conference center, we have not brought back to the conference center all the employees that we had. Remember, we had cancellations over the past 2-3 months. We have cancellation also for some of the events coming up. So again, the good news is our revenues are up and our expenses are still low because we were just not bringing back all the employees that we had previously laid off just because our customers have not returned. I foresee however, a few good things are going to happen, and let me touch on this also very briefly. We will bring in the mid-year budget, among other things, 2 key positions back from Parks and Recreation. These are programming positions, and these are positions that will ensure that we offer during the summer months and then the fall break and winter break and spring break, that we offer all the great recreation programs again. So we will invest into those positions, and then we will see how people will come back and bring their kids back or participate in our program. So we want to make sure that we have the programming side ready and offer it starting in summer. And on the flip side is if people then come back and bring us their kids or have their kids, we hire again the high schoolers as recreation leaders, etc., etc. So it's basically cause and effect. So we are starting with bringing people back that will do all the programming part, and then hopefully by offering those programs, and of course, if the pandemic allows us, we will have stronger participation, and then our expenses, personnel expenses, will go up accordingly. Laura Nagel asked me a question about the Ncip projects. The Ncip was a key element in getting us through the first round of pandemic effects. When the economy around us collapsed in March 2020, we had basically tremendous losses in sales tax as well as in hotel tax. Some hotels closed at that time. Let's not forget the Portola Hotel and Spa closed completely down. We had in the Marriott Hotel some days where they had 4 guests overnighting in the Marriott Hotel. It was a lot of harm being done during those days. And what we had at that time was basically we had to create a budget rescue package, and the Ncip was helpful at that time. We had literally dozens of projects that hadn't been launched, and so we were able to de-appropriate funding for many Ncip projects, and the Ncip carried the bulk of those budget reductions, as well as we had less CIP projects, but we also de-appropriated CIP projects. The question that is being asked is the projects that now are coming back, because Ncip funding will be back at 16% of the TOT will go to the Ncip. I estimate that might be this year something like $4 million to $4.5 million. And the question that has been asked is what happened to all those de-appropriated projects? In our city rules and in the budgeting rules and our purchasing rules, those projects are all de-appropriated by the council. So those projects have no budget anymore. They are not funded, and they have to be again brought forward through the Ncip as proposals to the council, and the council then allocates the funding to those projects. The council is the only board or the only group in the city that has the budget authority. So the Ncip will need to bring those projects forward again and has to vote on those projects again. And there is one distinction that is also worthwhile noting. The first distinction, again, those projects do not exist anymore, so there has to be a process followed. And the second element in that is that we changed the way we are allocating funding to those projects. And that goes back also to the changes that were implemented just prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. You remember we had a report from the civil grand jury. We had to change some of our rules and have to come back to a system that was different from the previous system. And so the Ncip now has to apply the new rules for the new projects, even though you know the projects because you had them previously discussed. So there's a strong distinction there to be made. Number one, the projects do not exist anymore in the city's budget. They have been de-appropriated. And number two is the rules for the Ncip and how those projects get approved now have changed, and you have to apply the current rules to those projects that want to be refunded. We met with the Ncip leadership a couple of weeks ago. I think it was actually maybe last week or the week prior to that. We met with Jean Rash and Rick Hoyer and explained all that, and I'm pretty sure that you will hear about that also at the upcoming Ncip meeting where this is an agenda item. Lastly, you might also consider as Ncip if all those projects still make sense or not. Some of those projects were older, even though at that time they might have had a lot of passion and support. It might be interesting to see if the Ncip still believes so that some of those projects are still worthwhile pursuing. If so, by all means, apply the voting mechanisms that we have right now and bring the projects back. So I hope that answers the question for Laura and Hans. Talking about bringing back programs, I wanted to talk about the sports camp. We will be offering again a sports camp for kids from June 6th to July 29th. That's a great camp where a lot of parents take advantage during the summer vacation to send the kids to a summer sports camp at the sports center. And the kids will be there all day from 9 to 4 p.m. and will be looked after, and a lot of residents, parents enjoy that program. This Friday, we have a family fun night at the sports center, where the sports center is free to families. Starts at 3 p.m. ends at 8 p.m. And it is basically a way for us to show everyone what we are doing in the sports center, and hope also to bring people back on a returning customer basis. On March 19, Louis Macuso and his team will host again the Cutting Day. That's a beautiful event where you can get cuttings or plants, or where you can also exchange plants with other garden enthusiasts. I'm very personally excited about that, and it's happening on March 19. I want to bring up one topic that popped up yesterday during the council meeting, which is there were a few calls coming in from renters, or from an organized renters group, asking about the next milestone with respect to rental issues. The council tasked us in September to look into rental registries, and staff has working on that topic basically starting in September, when we were tasked with that. The report has been finalized now. It had its own challenges, because it is not that straightforward to come up with the information that the council required us to assemble. So we will bring that forward next week. It will be at a special council meeting, and it will start on Wednesday at 4 p.m. And so at that time, staff will present the answers that council wanted to know about rental registry. So that will be next week, Wednesday. And like I said, we had been working on this for quite some time, and the council meeting next Wednesday was announced to the city council members yesterday as well, that will be the day when we are presenting the report. Last but not least, and let me look up one thing, because I think I wrote the wrong date down. Yes, we will have two other interesting elements that you might be interested in. This weekend, no, I'm sorry, next week, Thursday, we will host, let me start over. Next week, Thursday, MacPoor, in conjunction with the city, will host the State of the City address. It will be going on from 5 to 6 p.m. It will be virtually. We will provide the Zoom link. You will get it in our emails, and it will be posted on our website. It will be next week, Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. Mayor Clyde and I will provide an overview of what is called the State of the City. MacPoor has been for decades the host of those events. Those of you who know, it was originally hosted at the conference center or in the Marriott or other places. We have started hosting it virtually now, of course, of the pandemic, and this year again will be on Thursday next week from 5 to 6, and we will publish the Zoom link to all of you, and you can sign up for that. Also, Chocolate and Wine Drive, that is the event where all the book lovers get naughty and eat chocolate and drink wine. There will be a wine, chocolate and wine drive-through on February 26th, and it will be from 1 to 3 p.m. at which time you have a drive-through around the library and you'll get a goodie bag with the wine and the chocolate. And rumors has that our PD across the street might even put up a DUI checkpoint to join the fun. That, of course, is just rumors. Let me end my mornings with the manager on a sad note. Our team member Eric Palmer is leaving us. Eric has been with the city for more than 15 years, and you all know Eric if you have been connected with him. He is just a great employee, has been a great expert in so many topics. Whenever you log or check in channel 25, be assured you see his work there presented. Eric has worked in the city manager's office here with me for the past almost 2 years, and it has been a pleasure working with Eric. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Eric, he has been selected to help the waste management district in Marina, the regional waste management district in Marina, to help them with their public outreach work. And they really hired the best of the best to help them there. For us, unfortunately, we cannot offer him an alternative right now in the city, but as I assured Eric, our door is wide open and we will not forget him. And for those of you who live in this neighborhood, you will know how much he cherishes this neighborhood. And so pretty sure we'll see him back here around City Hall. Just give us some time to create some interesting counter offers. With all that said, of course, it's good for Eric and good for his family, and he broadens his experience, and we wish him the best of luck, but he will be terribly missed by all of us here in the city manager's office, and I know also by a lot of you guys out there. So with that, I close for today, and I wish you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy. And if there's anything that we can do better or anything that we have to do, please let us know. Shoot me an email, give me a call, and I'll make sure that you get the right person responding to you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.